Welcome everyone, and thank you for being here today. I'm excited to kick off our presentation on navigating the future, analysis, decisions, and responsibility. This is part of our series on strategic management and corporate governance. Today, we'll explore how organizations can effectively analyze their environment, make informed decisions, and uphold their responsibilities as leaders. We'll cover key concepts, strategies, and best practices to help guide your organization through an ever-changing landscape. Let's get started. Today, we're going to explore the meaning, nature, scope, and process of strategy, key concepts that form the foundation of our module. When we talk about the meaning of strategy, we're referring to the overall plan or approach that an organization adopts to achieve its goals. It's about making deliberate choices to position the organization effectively in its environment. Next, let's consider the nature of strategy. It's both a science and an art, requiring analytical thinking as well as creativity. Strategy involves understanding internal capabilities and external opportunities, and then aligning resources accordingly. It's dynamic, constantly evolving in response to changing conditions. Moving on to the scope, strategy isn't just about big-picture planning. It spans across various levels, from corporate strategy to business and functional strategies. It guides decision-making at every level, ensuring that all parts of the organization are working towards common objectives. Finally, the process of developing and implementing strategy involves several critical steps: analyzing the environment, formulating objectives, crafting the strategy itself, and then executing and monitoring progress. This process is iterative, requiring continuous evaluation and adaptation. All of these elements, the meaning, nature, scope, and process, are interconnected and essential for building a strong strategic foundation. They set the stage for understanding how organizations can navigate complex environments and achieve sustainable success. Let's take a closer look at the meaning and nature of strategy. First, it's important to recognize that strategy is fundamentally complex and uncertain. It involves dealing with the long-term future of the organization, which can be quite unpredictable. Because of this, it affects the entire organization, requiring a coordinated, integrated approach. And as you might expect, the responsibility for developing and implementing strategy primarily rests with top management. Now, when we talk about the nature of strategy, we're referring to how it sets the basic long-term goals and objectives for the enterprise. It's about determining what the organization aims to achieve over time. Alongside this, strategy involves choosing the courses of action necessary to reach those goals, and also deciding how to allocate resources effectively to carry out these plans. In essence, strategy is about defining where the organization wants to go in the long run and figuring out how to get there efficiently. This aligns with our overall theme of understanding how strategic planning guides organizational success. When we talk about scope and importance, we're really highlighting how crucial these concepts are for building a sustainable competitive advantage. This is what allows a firm to not just compete, but to outperform others in the industry and generate superior returns over time. An advantage like this provides us with a clear roadmap for the future. It ensures that everyone in the organization, whether it's different departments or individual employees, is aligned toward a common vision and purpose. This alignment is key to executing strategies effectively. Now, when we think about direction, it's about defining the organization's domain of action. That includes the markets we choose to compete in, the customers we aim to serve, and the resources we deploy to achieve our goals. Essentially, it sets the boundaries and focus areas for our efforts. And lastly, scope ties everything together. It clarifies what the organization is about, what areas it operates in, and how it allocates its resources. By clearly defining scope, we ensure that everyone understands where we are headed and how we plan to get there, which is fundamental for strategic success. Let's take a closer look at the model of strategic management. This model is essentially a cycle that guides how organizations develop and implement their strategies. It starts with environmental scanning and analysis, where we look at the external and internal factors affecting the organization. This is often done through SWOT analysis, which helps us identify strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Next, based on that analysis, we move into formulation. This is where we develop long-range plans and overall strategies to position the organization for success. Once we have a clear strategy, the next step is putting it into action through specific programs and initiatives. This is the implementation phase, where plans are translated into operational activities. Throughout this process, continuous monitoring of performance and control is essential. We need to evaluate how well our strategies are working, making adjustments as needed to stay on track. This ongoing cycle ensures that strategy remains dynamic and responsive to changes in the environment. Overall, this model shows how strategic management is a comprehensive process, from initial analysis to execution and evaluation, all aimed at achieving organizational goals effectively. Let's walk through the strategic decision-making process, starting with the first step: evaluate performance. Here, we review our current mission, objectives, and results to understand where we stand. Next, we move to review governance, where we examine the board's performance and top management to ensure strong leadership. Then, we analyze the environment by scanning for external opportunities and threats, as well as internal strengths and weaknesses. This helps us identify the key strategic factors causing performance gaps. Once we have that insight, we generate and evaluate plausible strategic alternatives to address these gaps. The goal at this stage is to develop options that are both feasible and aligned with our overall vision. Finally, we select the best alternative and implement it. This last step is crucial because it turns our strategic choices into action, driving the organization forward. Throughout this process, each step builds on the previous one, ensuring a comprehensive and effective approach to strategic decision-making. Let's take a closer look at Slide 7, which focuses on the structure, roles, responsibilities, and trends within corporate governance. First, understanding the structure is fundamental because it lays out how different parts of the organization work together to ensure effective oversight and decision-making. This includes the board of directors, management, and various committees, each with their own roles. Roles and responsibilities are equally critical. The board, for example, is responsible for setting strategic direction and oversight, while management handles day-to-day operations. Clear delineation of these roles helps prevent overlaps and ensures accountability. Now on to trends. Corporate governance is constantly evolving, influenced by factors like regulatory changes, technological advancements, and stakeholder expectations. For example, there's a growing emphasis on transparency, environmental, social, and governance issues, what we often call ESG. Connecting all these points to the overall theme, strong governance structures and clarity around roles and responsibilities are essential for building trust and resilience in organizations. As we move forward, staying aware of these trends will help us adapt and improve governance practices continuously. Now, let's take a closer look at the composition of the board. First, we have the independent directors. These are individuals who are free from any material relationships with the company. Their independence is crucial because it ensures they can provide unbiased judgment and help protect the interests of minority shareholders. It's all about maintaining objectivity and fairness in decision-making. Next, we have the non-executive directors. These are external members who bring an outside perspective to the board. Their role is to provide objective oversight and to challenge strategies constructively. This helps prevent groupthink and encourages robust discussions, which are essential for sound governance. Finally, we have the executive directors. These are insiders, such as the CEO or CFO, who are involved in the daily management of the company. They bring valuable operational knowledge and first-hand experience, which is vital for translating strategic decisions into actions. Together, these different types of directors create a balanced and effective governance structure, aligning with the broader theme of transparency and accountability that we've been discussing throughout this presentation. Now, let's talk about the role and responsibilities of the board. One of the key functions is ensuring the integrity of financial reporting and making sure that all disclosures are timely and transparent for shareholders and stakeholders alike. This is crucial for maintaining trust and confidence in the company. Another important responsibility is accountability. The board reviews and approves the company's overall strategy, including major plans of action, annual budgets, and business plans. This helps ensure that the company's direction aligns with its long-term goals and that resources are allocated wisely. In addition, the board provides strategic guidance. This means monitoring management's performance, making sure that internal controls are effective, and overseeing legal compliance. Essentially, the board acts as a guardian to keep the company on track, ethical, and well-managed. All these responsibilities are interconnected and vital for good corporate governance. They help the company navigate challenges and seize opportunities while maintaining integrity and accountability throughout. Let's take a closer look at some of the key trends currently shaping corporate governance. First up, digital transformation. As technology continues to evolve rapidly, companies are integrating digital tools and processes to improve decision-making, streamline operations, and enhance transparency. This shift not only increases efficiency, but also demands that boards stay tech-savvy and adaptable. Next, we have ESG integration. Environmental, social, and governance factors are now central to how organizations operate and are evaluated. Investors and stakeholders are increasingly expecting companies to demonstrate responsible practices that contribute positively to society and the environment, while also maintaining strong governance standards. Finally, there's a growing emphasis on diversity and inclusion. A diverse leadership team brings multiple perspectives, fosters innovation, and better reflects the communities we serve. Companies that prioritize inclusion are more likely to build resilient, forward-thinking organizations. All these trends align with the broader theme of evolving governance practices. Adapting to a changing world requires embracing digital, responsible, and inclusive approaches to leadership. Let's take a closer look at corporate social responsibility, or CSR. CSR is really about how companies can go beyond just making profits and actively contribute to society and sustainable development. There are 4 key components to CSR. First is philanthropic, which is about being a good corporate citizen, giving back to the community and supporting causes that matter. Next is ethical, doing what is right, even when no one's watching. It's about maintaining integrity and honesty in everything we do. Then we have legal responsibilities, obeying the law. Following regulations isn't just about avoiding penalties, but about showing respect for societal rules and standards. And finally, economic responsibility, being profitable. Without a strong financial foundation, it's hard to sustain any of these other efforts. The core idea of CSR is the commitment to contribute to sustainable economic development. This means working closely with employees, their families, local communities, and society at large to improve their quality of life. Ultimately, CSR is about going beyond profit. It's about creating value not just for shareholders, but for everyone impacted by the business. It's about making a positive difference in the world while maintaining business success. And that wraps up our presentation. If you have any questions or want to connect further, you can reach me at goswamiv505@gmail.com or call me at +91 8,755,072,430. I'm Vinod Goswami, and I appreciate you taking the time to be here today. Thank you so much for your attention and engagement.